Young man is Dino, my young man.
He
Young
really
man.
is. He really is. He's the founder and CEO of Be Empowered Apparel, a climate change leader, a chess tournament director, and he's been seen on local major news outlets, sold thousands of dollars in merchandise, co-hosted food giveaways, and so much more. Would y'all please put your hands together and
Yeah, we
welcome
gotta
to
put it
our
together.
Spotlight family, 16-year-old high school
Yes.
sensation,
16.
entrepreneur Miles Davis.
Hey! Yes,
Yes.
indeed. Welcome aboard, brother.
How you doing, man?
Man, I'm good. So first
Talking
of all,
to
we're
your
gonna need you
mic.
speaking to the mic a little bit and use your outside voice. Don't be nervous. Don't worry about it. There's only a couple of thousand people here and there. Look, it don't mean nothing. We right in our living room. Get ready to have some fun. So first of all, congratulations on everything that you have going on, brother.
Yes.
Be Empowered is the brand.
Yes, sir.
How
Yes,
did you
sir.
come up with the name Be Empowered?
Yeah, I had a few different names in mind. So when I started at 12 during the pandemic. So the name Empowered is obviously positive because that's the main thing I wanted people to get from my brand. You see Empowered, you automatically know what it means. So that's why I picked it. I
Okay.
could have used like an analogy or something, like maybe letters that represent something, but I wanted to be straight to the point. So that's
So
really
Be
why I picked
Empowered was what you came up with. And so then who influenced you to start this actual brand? Who was your influence?
My main influence was definitely my parents because they both entrepreneurs.
Gotcha.
So they basically instilled in me that drive to start my own business and then to continue doing it. So my biggest inspiration was my family, my parents, and then my community too. So
Was it hard to get younger people on board because you're so young, right? And so when you deal with a brand so young, did you cater to people your age, or did you just say, I'm going to just do a broad brand, for whoever? How did that work for you? Did you start catering to people at first that was closer to your age?
I started off doing just kids clothing, actually. I started just a kids clothing brand, and then I started doing adults clothing, really, because some kids was wearing adult sizes. Like,
Gotcha.
it was kids that was 16, it was like, oh, I need a large. I was like, oh, okay. So then I
Okay.
started doing adults clothing.
And that's what okay. So that's what propelled you into doing grown-up clothing, is that the kids were of size. So
Right.
basically, they needed large and extra larges and stuff like that. So you said,
Right.
I might as well just stretch out
Right.
to people my
That's
size.
exactly what happened. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. So did you have anything you want to ask this young man before we keep going? Because I don't want to take the whole situation.
I want to talk a little bit about what makes you a climate change leader. What does that mean to people?
Yeah, that's interesting. And what is a climate change leader, first of all?
Right, so this company called Climate Reality, started by Al Gore, former vice president. I began working with them because I was interested in climate change, because as a kid, I really liked animals. Like, you can ask my parents, I was always asking about animals, always saying, this is the type of bird, and people were like, what are you talking about? But I was interested in it, so from the animals and then trying to take care of the animals, that's when I started getting interested in climate change, because the world is burning up, we got global warming going on, it's all types of gases from cars, so I started learning about that, and then that's just something else I began getting interested in during the pandemic, and then even before that. But when I got more free time, I really started diving into it. So that's
Wow,
what I came
Miles.
from. Yeah.
And so that's extraordinary, first of all. I listen to you and I'm observing you, and you're very poised to be so young, and you're very sharp to be so young. And so I'm definitely not a person who's interested in climate change, unfortunately, and I know a lot of people our age probably not as well, and your age. And so to be so young, how did you get such a mindset? I mean, because we're talking about a clothing brand, but then you jumped off onto climate change, and you talked about Al Gore and this and that. What first sparked your interest in this? I mean, you spoke on animals, we get it, but I guess what I want to know is how early or how old were you when you first gathered this interest in climate change?
During the pandemic?
During the pandemic?
Yeah, I was about 11 or 12.
You was that young?
Yeah, I was already interested in it before, but then I just started learning more about it, reading about it, documenting these videos. I just kept learning more about it. So, yeah.
Wow, that's definitely different, right? And so you're a different person anyway, to be so young, to have an entrepreneur spirit. Is it something that you always dreamed to be self-employed, or is just something that came about watching your parents as you got older? Like when you were younger, did you just say, well, I'm going to go to, get a job or be a doctor or be this or that? Or did you always want to be self-employed?
Well, originally I wanted to be successful, definitely. But being self-employed, I really got that from my parents being entrepreneurs. They showed me that.
Yeah.
I definitely knew I wanted to be successful. Of course, I want to be able to provide for myself and my family. But the entrepreneurship, I definitely got to give a credit to my parents for that.
What would be your
love it.
definition of success as a young
Success
person?
for me-
What would that look like for you?
If I'm able to take care of myself, take care of my family, and provide for my parents, and then do that and still have enough financial freedom to be able to go on a vacation. If I want to, 2 weeks, I want to go to another country, I can do that. If I can do that, that's success to me.
I love it. I love
Man, Your
that.
parents have done a great. Y'all can give it
I
up.
love
Y'all
that.
give it up for this young man. Let me just say something. You have to be very proud of him, right? You guys have done you are different. Like you have to have come from great stock. Your parents done a great job raising you. I see something in you that's not in every young man or woman for that matter. When I met you, I knew that. When you handed me a shirt, I knew that. When I saw you out there doing your thing, I knew that. And I was just like, wow, so young, because a lot of young people are into trouble and doing some other things, and we hearing all these crime-riddled incidences every day. And I don't see you fitting that bill. And so what keeps you away from that mentality besides your parents? Like, you know, it's easy to have friends that can influence you, so you seem to have picked them well, right? And
Right.
so have you ever had an incident where you felt like, man, I ducked that one, or, you had a friend that maybe got involved with something, you say, wow, I'm glad that was, like, do you ever have a circle of friends that maybe not who you are or move the way you do?
Yeah, well, from my friends, nobody really moves the way I do, but I will say, if I feel negative energy, I don't really let you get that close to me. So I would definitely do my best to try to give you some type of inspiration and hope that you can gain something from seeing what I'm doing. But if you can't, then I'm going to just hope that you find your path,
Yeah, you're mature.
I
Super
love
mature.
it. I love it. One last thing, Miles, because we do have to wrap up. I want you to tell us about your chess tournament experience. Like, you're a chess tournament director. You're 16 years old.
Director?
How long have you been playing chess?
Did he say
And-
director?
Yes, and you're a chess tournament director. So can you tell us a little
Wow.
bit about that, and then, close it out by letting people know how they can support your brand and anything else that you have going on?
Right, so with
Director, wow.
chess, I started playing chess when I was 5, and then I just kept playing tournaments, more tournaments, and then I started directing tournaments just a couple years ago because I realized that there was a lot of kids who didn't really know about chess, so it was kind of going to tournaments. It seems like everybody plays chess, but when you really think about it, a lot of people don't play chess, and the people that do, they don't play tournaments, and they don't think too deeply into it, but chess, it really helps you with paying attention to detail. It helps you with your focus,
Life.
your memory, with everything. And then with looking ahead, it's just a real good game for strategy. So when I realized that it was just good people to learn how to play chess, I said, okay, let me host tournaments. I started doing that. People are able to get ratings. I'm helping people get their United States Chess Federation ratings for that. So now I'm getting more of my friends involved in chess, and I'm
So
glad.
I
wait,
love it.
this time out
I
for a
love
second.
it.
Wait a minute. So you say you're 27? 30,
16,
36?
16.
See, you lying. You say 16,
Yeah.
and this is your mind.
Yes, sir.
So y'all tell me black man magic not real. You tell me our parents not sowing into our children. You lying. You tell me that we don't sow greatness. You lying.
That's
Everybody
right.
not jacking and stealing cars.
That's
You
right.
lying.
That's
We do
right.
have good news, even though they don't tell you about it. But on
That's
Spotlight
right.
over the city, we blessed to have this young man, and this is what good news looks like.
That's right.
This is good news, right?
Yes.
And so I'm gonna close with this. You got 1 hour. You just signed a big deal. They getting ready to give you a big old check for your clothing line. The brand is popping. Mom is driving, of course. You can't drive, but you want to listen to one artist. You can't take them out once you put them in. It can be a group or artist. Who you listen to?
Miles Davis, easy.
Yes, Miles Davis.
And of course, Miles Davis. Hey man,
Yes.
I don't know many grown people listen to Miles Davis. I don't know many grown people who care about climate change. I don't know many people who are as conscious as you are as a young man. So again, a testament to your parents and whoever's sowing into you. You are a great young man. I'm here bearing witness to greatness. And I just thank you for gracing the platform today, man. And I hope we have a lot more young men and women come up behind you just like you or greater. Because you're a
Yes.
great example of what we could be. Y'all give it up for this young
Yes,
man.
indeed. Miles Davis.
Miles Davis in the building, man.
Yes,
Hey,
CEO,
we'll be right back.
Be empowered.
Big CEO,
Apparel.
big motion. Understand
Yes.
that. Be empowered. Make sure you following this young man. Be empowered. Make sure you lock in. Buy a hoodie, buy a T-shirt, buy a hat. He got hats, scullies, all. Buy something and support this young man. And tell a friend to tell a friend. Make sure you pull up. How can they follow you again? Be empowered. What is
Instagram, CEO BE:, Find us on Instagram. Give us a follow. Look
Give
at what
them
we
a
got,
follow.
merchandise. We got new stuff on the way. Summer close.
Make
So
sure
stay
you
on the
lock in
lookout.
so you can see what this young man has and support black business. All right, make sure you do that, man. Y'all lock
All
in.
right, yeah.
Let's give it up.
Coming up next, we got
Yes.
Derek D.C. Curry.
Yes, indeed. We got Derek on the way up. You guys ready? Y'all ready?
Y'all ready?
All right.